Hey, welcome to a Just to Serve TV snack. Hello, Linda Kenny Bodden. We're
I still need that cup of tea. Tea time for
you still need
me.
some tea. We're going to
Tea with
talk
my
about the
milk.
Madeleine McCann case, something that we've covered here for the last year plus. Obviously, this is 2007 disappearance of 3-year-old Madeleine McCann from Praia da Luz, which is just outside Lagos in Portugal, a little coastal community there. We've been over there a couple of times, going back in February. Maybe this latest event that we're going to talk about will lead us to new areas of discovery. There's a trial underway right now in the UK against a woman named Julia Wandelt, Wandelt. She believes, she's a little less than 100%, but she believes she is Madeleine McCann. She's in trial accused of stalking the McCanns, the parents of Madeleine McCann, between late 2022 and just past January 2025. She has a co-defendant as well, Ms.
That's a
Wandelt.
smart co-defendant.
Well, this is interesting. I bet she feels, like the Ahmaud Arbery, the defendant who had the video recording of what happened. He's like, oh man, I thought I was just recording this for posterity. Oh no, you're now in prison for the rest of your life. What was his name? Roddy Bryan.
Yeah, Brian. Roddy
Yeah,
Brian.
Brian.
Was it Roddy Bryant or was it Roddy?
No, Bryan,
Okay.
no T. Anyway, the case of somebody maybe being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Her name is Karen Sprague, and she's 61. She apparently drove once or twice this Julia to the McCanns, if you believe the prosecution.
Never
Now
do a favor
she's
for a
sitting there,
friend.
guilt by association. So just again, just crunching some of the numbers here before we get into the substance of her testimony, which is a bit odd. She believes, Julia believes that she could be Madeleine McCann. She said she had contact with an abuser who had the same last name as one of the early suspects in the Madeleine McCann disappearance. As most folks know, she's never been found, and there is nobody in custody. There's been tons of investigation. Most recently, they dug up some of the hillsides in and around that little town of Praia da Luz, looking for some evidence. Came up with nothing. That was Scotland Yard, who has continued to pump money into this. They're well past 13 million pounds in trying to investigate this. And a lot of folks are upset because why this case, right? I mean, how many missing children and other cases could they be expending money and efforts on? That's a different discussion. The fact is they're doing it. So this woman comes along and believes somehow she's connected because of this abuse issue, perhaps. She's of Polish descent. Her Polish parents, she said, let's do a DNA test. Her Polish parents said, nah, we're not going to do that. There is no DNA evidence that she is connected to the McCann family. Okay, none. In her, let me show you.
Have we had any psychiatric evaluations
I am
before we got here?
unaware. I am unaware. I would not be surprised, but I am unaware. Here's my side by side of Madeline and Julia. So there's Madeleine McCann at her about 3 years old when she left on the right, and then you have this defendant now in the stalking case, Julia Wandelt, who is 24.
And how old is she? 24
She's
years old?
24. Let's do the math on that. I'm no math major, but if you disappear in 2007 at age 3, you would now be 21. That's just the math. It's 2025. So this woman is 3 years older than she would be. So that's just another issue. Just another issue. And again, she's
got parents who are in Poland, right?
Yes.
Who are identifiable.
Yes.
And all. Okay, so everyone historically remember Tsar Nicholas and his wife Alexandra, and then their child. I'm sorry. It was let's see. It was Alexandra, because then it was Anastasia who went missing, the young girl, and then in Virginia, somebody appeared years later and said that she was long lost Anastasia. Eventually, DNA through hospital slides that were found proved that that was not the case. But people do believe they are other people.
Yeah, and obviously she had abuse at a young age. I'm talking about the defendant, Julia Wandelt. That can mess with your head. That can twist your reality. If you look at these two pictures, I look immediately at the nose and also the top lip. Madeline, very thin top lip. This woman, not so thin and doesn't look like it's cosmetically enhanced. But look at the bridge of the nose too, and the things change as you grow older, no doubt about it.
Mhm.
The fundamental, and even her eyes, Madeline's eyes are further set.
Right.
This woman, I mean, there's just a ton of things just as a layman looking at it.
Yeah, biometrics, if you were gonna do it
Like,
now, on some of the things that don't change, very much, just don't look like they head up.
yeah, yeah. And then I thought it would be interesting to share. We're big on courtroom artists, right? And a
Right.
couple. Who's the one that you like so much? I always forget her name.
Jane
Fitzgerald,
Rosenberg. Jane
Rosenberg,
Rosenberg, right.
Rosenberg. Um, Compare that to what we have from the UK. Okay, there you have
Okay.
the two defendants. There's Miss Wandelt on the left, and then Miss Sprague on the right. I don't know. It's a different style,
It's a
isn't it?
different style.
It's
It's a
very
different style. Right,
muted,
right, right.
very
It's muted.
muted.
Right.
Most of the courtroom sketches we see have a lot of flair and kind of color and an attempt to capture the motion and the mood, right?
Well,
This
maybe this is the emotion and the
yeah,
mood, okay,
it could
of the
be. I
two.
mean, this looks
I
like
mean,
two people sitting on the bus.
if
I
I'm
don't know.
61 years old and I'm sitting next to this woman who's 24 who believes she's somebody else, and I just drove her, trying to help her, now I'm on trial for stalking, I'm not sure I would look anything but like muted.
So yeah, fair enough. Just contrasting the two styles here, and maybe that's more the British understated style, right? You
Fish
Americans,
called
you're too
Wanda, right.
flamboyant. So here's some of the testimony. Ms. Wandelt was asked, and again they are still in trial. Going to be wrapping up. She was asked to reflect on her prior comment from a day before testifying, when she said, she felt 50-50. She felt that she was Madeleine McCann. In response, Ms. Wandelt said, "Well, I've spent lunchtime crying." The prosecutor told her that DNA would match if they were the same person. "Your profile bears no relation to Madeline's," he added. Then
So
he
the
asked her,
prosecution did get DNA.
"Yeah, this is apparently yeah, I mentioned that earlier. No match. They didn't do the Polish parents,
Polish parents didn't do it, but the
but they did it
prosecution did,
with
right,
the McCanns."
right,
Um, and
right.
so then, and the prosecutor's name is Mr. Duck. Uh, He asked if she noticed any dissimilarities between her and Amelia McCann, that's Madeline's sister. The defendant told the court, "It depends on what photos you look at." And we were just doing the analytical review of those two simple photos. And then during cross-examination, Mr. Duck said, "Very dangerous to rely on information from the internet," referring to Ms. Wandelt's use of Chat GPT in her research. Yikes.
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 Um,
What about the poor co-defendant? I'm more interested in why she is
Yeah,
on trial for stalking and had,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, it sounds to me like it's more an accessory type crime, but apparently they're trying them together, and that we know how well that works sometimes. Once you're associated, you're in the chair right next to her. You must be equally guilty or not, depending how the jury goes.
Maybe
If
she was
they're,
trying to take care of her. She's 61 versus a 24-year-old.
I
I
don't
don't know. I'd
know.
like to find more about this.
I think, and I'd have to research it a little more, but it sounded to me like it was a friend slash acquaintance who just had the ability to transport them. She had a car. And so for the times that they visited the McCann residence uninvited, she drove. So now look where you are. And then Mr. Duck finally said, when
Quack. She
advised,
finally said quack.
yeah,
She finally said, "You're a quack."
Mr. Duck said, "You're a quack, 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 quack." He
Oh, I couldn't
said,
I'm sorry.
that was
That was
so
just
easy. I know.
naturally I couldn't resist.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know. So he
I know
said,
it's not funny. I know it's not funny. It's certainly not funny to the McCanns, but
that's
it
for
just
sure. Just yet another way to drag them through the memory of their lost
right,
daughter. And
right.
again, for those who don't remember, they were suspects for.
Oh,
Well,
outrageous.
some
It
people
was
still think they were involved. Uh,
outrageous,
yeah,
outrageous. I'll
yeah.
put my viewpoint in.
So when the DA or the prosecutor said, the DNA bears no resemblance, she said, "Yes, I understand that." And in response, Mr. Duck said, "Isn't that the end of this charade?" Or in France or in UK, would he have said charade? Isn't that the end of this charade? Your story, your fabrication? And she did not respond to that. So that trial continues, and when we get back over there in February, it'll be interesting. I'm going to kick around and see. I mean, that's just a crazy story.
Right. And we'll have an update on what happens and whether she gets convicted and
Yeah,
what
we'll
her
definitely have
sentence
that.
is, that and of her co-defendant, the carrier, the
I
transport.
sense an interview effort on my part.
I do
Uh,
too.
I mean, it depends. I mean, stalking, I have to do more research to see what that opens her up to in terms of liability, what kind of incarceration.
No,
But
we just had one in New Jersey. We talked about the cyber harassment in New
yeah,
Jersey, which is sometimes called cyber stalking, but that was cyber. So this was actual, this looks like it was actual physical stalking,
yeah,
not
this is
cyber.
much more serious, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, they were
Right.
going to the McCann's house, and allegedly it's because she wanted to explore her concern that she was Madeline. It doesn't sound like it was to steal, to physically harm them, to she wanted to make some sort of contact to find out in her mind whether she is their missing daughter.
Do you
So
know if the
little
McCanns testified, Michael?
I do not know. I would be shocked if they didn't
I
because
agree.
they're the victims.
Right.
Um, but I do not know. No, I'm going to have to open up Justice Serve TV UK Bureau to get a little further further into this.
Just or you
So
could do what she did. Go to
go to ChatGPT.
ChatGPT.
Yes, but that is that's just a little look into the future. That's
Yeah.
that's as I look at. I had a trial last week. Yeah, and one of the documents submitted by the opposition, I was shocked, was an AI document that had to do with market analysis. So, first of all, the judge questioned it. Good for him. And I said, Judge, it says right here at the bottom, subject to mistakes. I mean, what's the validity of a document like this? It's just laziness, is what it is. I think, Judge, I think I'm just going to go home and I'm just going to and send in my brief, if you don't mind.
Well, wait a second. In the Karen Reed trial, there was testimony on a blood draw and the analysis at a hospital, and the document at the bottom said, "Not for use in legal proceedings,"
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
still was used.
Yes, it
So,
was. Yeah, I remember that. It was, clinical. It was just for clinical use, and I'm assuming the jury put that into the other pile of BS that they were dealing with.
so
Okay, so we'll keep you posted on what's happening with Madeline McCann and her apparent older self. I don't know, but whatever it is, we will have it for you here at Justice Serve TV. Thank you, Linda Kenny Bodden.
thanks, Michael Bryant.
Justice Serve TV. Please try to do the right thing.